Hello, Flame community. This is Jeff Kyle with the Flame Learning Channel. Tokens have seen some exciting improvements in the Flame 2027 release, giving us new ways to take control of how we rename all sorts of items within our projects. In this video, we'll be covering what's changed, what's new, and how to use these token updates on your next project. To start, we'll be talking about a few tokens used in the project management dialog window: hostname, host, and host space name. In legacy versions of Flame, these tokens resolve to the display name value that was set in the opt Autodesk CFG network.cfg file and opt Autodesk CFG services.cfg file. Now, in the Flame 2027 release, these tokens resolve to the network hostname of the computer on which the project was created. By default, in the network.cfg file mentioned a few moments ago, the display name is commented out, but if this value is defined in this file, it will take precedence over the network hostname or computer name. If you have any project templates or have a modified sysconfig.cfg file in your facility that uses these tokens with their legacy behavior, be sure to update them when you upgrade to the Flame 2027 release. The workstation token now resolves to the computer on which the application is currently running. On Rocky Linux, this is based on the network host name, and on Mac OS, this is based on the computer name. We have a new token, workspace, which returns the name of your current workspace and is available everywhere the project token is available. The output of a token returning a string can now be sliced, which means we can take that string a token would normally produce and trim it down to just the part we want. Slicing involves adding, just before the end of a token, a set of square brackets with a colon between one or two numbers. The numbers tell Flame where to start keeping characters and where to stop, thus defining a range. The number before the colon defines the from, and the number after the colon defines the to. The first number is inclusive, meaning the character corresponding to that number is present in the resolved string. And the second number is exclusive, meaning the character corresponding to that number is excluded from the resolved string. If we leave off the first number, Flame keeps everything from the start of the string up to our defined cut point. And if we leave off the second number, we keep everything from our cut point to the end of the string. One way to visualize this is to think of the numbers as marking the spaces between characters rather than the characters themselves. If I map the characters to a number line and place the numbers in the gaps between each character, this demonstrates how slicing works in Flame. So, for example, if we take a slice of 5 to 9, we're telling Flame to make a cut at position 5 and another cut at position 9, keeping all of the characters in between. This means that a slice of 5:9 leaves us with CO16. The numbers can also be negative, which tells Flame to count from the other end of the string instead, represented here with the second row along the bottom running from right to left, where -1 sits just before the last character. This is handy when we don't know how long the string is, but we do know how it ends. And since every cut point has a number from both directions, the same slice we just looked at, 5 to 9, can also be written as -11 to -7. Both give us the same result. Back in Flame, we can see slicing in action with this shot here. If we take the source name token and add the slicing bracket and colon just before the end of the token like this, then when I add a 4 here, this is giving us a slice starting at the beginning of the string and ending 4 characters in. If we want that middle section, we can start the slice 5 characters in and end at position 9. And if we just want that end section, we can start 10 characters in and go to the end. Understanding how slicing works helps quite a bit with our final topic for this video, custom tokens. If we head over to Preferences, under System, and this Custom Tokens tab, we have our brand new Custom Tokens section. When we press the Add button, a new custom token entry is added to the table. We give it a name in the Token Name field, and when I select the Pattern field, the Set Pattern dialog box appears, where we have access to nearly all of the tokens available throughout the application. Here, we can add a string, a combination of existing tokens, or tokens with predefined padding or slicing. As an example, let's say I'd like to set up 2 sets of shot naming tokens, one for commercial work and one for episodic work. For my commercial pattern, I'll be using the project nickname token, followed by the background index token with a specific padding that I like. For my episodic pattern, let's say I'll want to keep all the characters from the beginning of the source name up until 8 characters in. Then let's say I need to add the name comp, and then I'll need to preserve another part of the provided name, which I know is 14 characters in and it's 4 characters long, so I'll want characters 14 through 18. Now, based on the 2 custom tokens I've created, I'll head to a sequence I'm planning to use for some commercial work. I can select all of my segments, rename the shots, and when I go to add a token, I have this custom dropdown, and I can select my commercial custom token, and there it is. In this example, while it isn't new to be able to have the shot name field preloaded with an already established shot name, it is new to be able to quickly switch between different shot name schemas, as we'll see in just a moment. If I switch to a sequence I'm planning to use for some episodic work, I can once again select all of my segments, rename the shots, and now add the episodic custom token. And just like that, my carefully crafted pattern is applied and we're ready to publish out our shots. Once we've created a custom token, we can use it wherever an Add Token dropdown is available, but it'll only appear in areas where the tokens we've used are available. In our example here, we saw it in the Timelines Rename Shot area, but if I head over to Batch and rename this write file node, my newly created custom field doesn't appear because the background segment token is not available in Batch. And finally, a new section has been added to the sysconfig.cfg file, pointing to a custom tokens CFG file, allowing for full control over syncing custom tokens across a facility. If you like these videos and you're finding them helpful, please subscribe to the Flame Learning channel and click the bell to stay notified about new content. Feel free to comment any questions or suggestions below. Until next time, thanks a bunch for watching.